Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you stop by Pallet Town and grab your Pokédex to figure out what the hell these copium smoking hats think the player base is token on. I swear there is cope after cope, and yes, I'm just repeating shit I heard on the internet. But dang it, Turtle Squad, I know a hat game when I see one. At first, this thing was sour like a bad Sour Patch Kid, and it forgot to turn sweet. We had blue fishmen and genderless companions. You just powered an eighth of mushrooms and forgot to step out of the matrix. There's no fish in the water? Go for a swim. Check it out. There's literally no fish in the water. There's no weights, nothing. No reaction. This beautiful world doesn't even know you exist. You're living in a sim. Snap back to reality. Oh wait, there's mushrooms growing out of your head. And most interactions I have is with a random god. Everyone looks at you, they see your soul and giant mushrooms growing out of your freaking face. Strap on your rainbow colored socks and let's hop into this RPG rocket. The Avowed trailer, if you were to roll a d20 to have it describe the announcement trailer to Avowed, it would be a nat 20. Chef kiss. Roll the credit, boys, we're good. We had talks about Oath, Destiny, becoming kings and queens, flaming fucking arrows, shifting sands of destiny type shit. We were riding high on the back of Indian elephants, free in the wilderness of a lost jungle. We had endless possibilities. In reality, we got handed the keys to a 12-volt Barbie Jeep with sparklers attached. The world is a beautiful skin over, a solid plate of a nothing burger. We can't even spin this with alternative facts to make the launch of this game look close to spectacular. Skyrim had more immersion. Oblivion had better physics. How many decades should we go back? I can argue that the 1996 release of Daggerfall gave you more choices, immersion, and a chance to play an RPG like a true hero. In Daggerfall, you play one of 18 predefined character classes. You can choose to create a custom class very similar to a D&D character sheet, and that's very likely where the early designs drew their inspiration from. With a map ranging over 161,000 kilometers squared, with over 5,000 cities and towns, and over 15,000 if you include dungeons. The reason I'm bringing up the release of Daggerfall, Bethesda's second title in 1996, is the fact that when it relates to game ambition, scope, RPG mechanics, game world, and politics, every aspect of what makes a role-playing computer game a solid RPG was given to players in the mid-1990s. That was before some of you were even born who are listening to this. Money has flooded into the gaming industry. Games went from being a fad for nerds to a full-fledged career. We have dug deep into the human minds. We know what makes people tick. The game studios, with all of their money and their might, continue to handicap themselves, placing ideology above gamers. In this particular case with Avowed, it's art director. That's a whole separate drama. The current problem with gaming industry is the face of true nerds living in their mother's basement types. You know who you are. You're probably drinking from a 2-liter of Pepsi as we speak, shuffling the row of cans over on your desk so you don't spill anything. Game devs in the early 90s were D&D, dice-rolling, foam sword-wielding heroes in their own world of fantasy and comic book bosoms. Men enjoyed masculinity and crushing skulls, Duke Nukem type of shit. Here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And we didn't even buy bubblegum to start with. We had options to explore alien planets, crushing our enemies. We could join fantasy arena teams, travel to cities, and become gladiators, master of the blades. Now we get handed some Gen Z fish boy turquoise Feyland that looks shittier at every glance. I tried to like this game. If you listen to my first review, I seriously gave it the old college try. The more I continued to peel back the Shrek onion, I found it just to be a huge ugly core. The core of this game is sold to you as an expansive RPG. It's not even open world, it's open zone. That's a quote from the developer.
Level failure. Let's find out. Let's see.
You gotta accept a little jank to do something fun and creative, I think.
We should expect some jank to get a big game. The attitude from the directors sounded like me after I lit up a 1-gram doobie and watched Harry Potter for the 43rd time. The kind of it is what it is attitude, not striving towards something great, That was the first red flag with this game. If you view the original idea for this game compared to what it turned out to be, it's absolutely astonishing for someone who's not new to games, but is new to taking a deep dive into the people and the companies that make these games. The money slush fund from Microsoft and related corporations to try to sell and make a woke RPG that appeals to fans of Dungeons and Dragons and Elder Scrolls is very real. Dragon Age struck out from what I hear, and Avowed is close on its heels. I had a comment mentioned this week that Kingdom Come 2 had similar accusations against it and ended up being a banger. My response to that particular comment is Kingdom Come 2 did not try to degender people and make men feminine and females masculine. I feel like the games are made by two different ideologies, but please, let's continue that debate in the comment section below. The gaming industry as a whole has been changing along with the men and women who buy and fund them. The biggest issue I have with Avowed, I can point to 100 things and say I don't like how the guards don't defend you in the cities. There's no punishments for stealing and killing. Arrows disappear into the abyss when shot into the air. Water won't move around you. There's no weights or even fish in the water as of the release date. The true issue that causes me to have this reaction is the price for the quality of the product. We're not buying the tip-top Nike golf balls, a Razer Naga mouse, or a sports car. We're buying a mid-grade game at a full retail price from a AAA studio who at this time is very far from an indie studio. I feel it's disrespectful to the community of players. I spent countless hours and 2 weeks of obsessing about this title. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning and they got served 2 strikes by the gaming community. This is a broken core of a game that cannot be remedied by a simple DLC, like my original conclusion in my first review. This game is a symptom of a much bigger issue in the gaming and the culture war. We in the Turtle Squad welcome all types and opinions. I'm not here as a banner holder. I'm simply reporting the fact that the game feels directed to a much softer, larger, non-hardcore gamer audience. And to me, this is a huge mistake. That compounded with the fact that every outlet on the internet seems to be bending over backwards to try to point out any sign of success after losing an ideology war in their last election. This group is looking for a win on any front, be it changing rules in D&D to fit ideology and weed out potential hints of the R word. No, not Team Rocket, Team Racism. Gamers from the Arctic Circle to the equator are looking for a chance to reclaim our glory days. 2025 has us wondering, was life really better when Skyrim and Oblivion were released? Was Call of Duty 4 the best Call of Duty? Or was that the best time in our lives? There is a group of 25 to 40-year-olds who have families, careers, and houses, and we are playing releases that cost $85 and receive a product that is inferior in almost every way but graphics to releases we played in 2010. Have we become jaded and nothing can tickle our excitement and break us from the drag of our days? Shikamaru status? Were we the ones making these titles great in our own mind when getting $2.50 for horse armor was the big to-do in our life for that day? Take Oblivion or Skyrim out for a spin, and you'll soon realize the newest title on the block doesn't mean the game plays better, it's just the current phase. And if Avowed can't turn the tides that are against them, the sea of public opinion and criticism will soon swamp their decks, and the sinking will be irreversible. Popular streamer Asmongold released a video about his opinions regarding Avowed, and I feel like one of his statements summed up how I feel perfectly. He said, "I was happy eating shit," referring to his years of playing World of Warcraft, "because I thought it tasted good. Until I had cake, I didn't realize that shit tasted bad." Avowed is really good if you're a casual player, and there's nothing wrong with that. Avowed sucks for a seasoned fan of the genre. Who's more likely to buy an RPG in mid-February? A hardcore RPG player? Enter the issue with Obsidian's execution. We as a community of gaming turtles, hit the sub down below, care about the future and integrity of the genre. We view ourselves as golden robe gatekeepers, forever searching for the one game to rule them all.
Cast it into the fire!
They dove down to the depths with blueprints for Elder Scrolls 6, and we lost communication. When are we gonna see the launch? Beats the hell out of me and my pet dead horse. All the leaks for Elder Scrolls 6 have been ginned up like a cocaine jackalope. We have no more news than we did 6 years ago. This all just furthers my point that we hardcore RPG, TTRPG types are very hungry for a solid role-playing experience. This game very well might give some that avenue, but at a steep price for results. This has been Squeaky Turtle. Thank you so much for viewing this video. Don't forget to hit that sub down below, and let's continue this conversation in the comment section below. Peace.